This is No Singles, a podcast where we discuss albums from front to back in an attempt to promote comprehensive album listening. I'm Nate.
I'm JR.
And I'm Ethan.
Yeah. Ethan Moon?
Yeah, Ethan Moon.
Ethan Moon.
Cool. That's me.
That's a kick-ass name, actually.
Yeah, it is, dude.
Appreciate it. It's my middle name.
Yeah, cool. We're here today to discuss what's DIIV's album called, because it's grammatically incorrect. So
Is the Are
yep. by DIIV and The Stranger by Billy Joel.
Yeah.
We got Ethan with us today. Ethan's
yes,
both these albums are by New York artists, and we got Ethan, who's from New York.
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
cool.
You got your Yankees hat on. I got my Giants hat on.
That's it.
Yeah.
I am a Jets fan, but it's all good.
I know.
They both suck.
I know. Coming in, I was like, I bet you that he goes, I'm a Buffalo, or I'm a Bills fan, or I'm a Jets fan. But it wasn't. Oh, I'm just gonna put this here.
But yeah, Jets.
Just save your back a little.
I'm cursed to be a Jets fan.
It's okay.
I know.
These days, any New York sports team, though, you're not like.
You gotta own your home team.
Yeah, I'm proud of the Knicks, though. I gotta say that. Even though, we're kind of in a hole right now, but
It's okay.
From where we've been, you know what I mean. Growing up, especially, there's periods of time, 17 win seasons, and it's been pain for a long time. So this is like just getting here is awesome,
Yeah, I'm from Denver, and the Rockies just usually suck.
Yeah.
Sorry, and there was like one season though where they just like went all the way to the final match. I don't know what that's called, the World Series, and then they went on to go up against the Red Sox and just lost. I mean, like completely lost. They just got shut out by them. And all these people were like selling a ton of merch like crazy for the first time and stuff. And then they just sucked.
Yeah, man. That's what it is,
It happens.
Oh, dude, before Nate got here, you told me some cool news. You got to say that on the mic.
Yeah. So, I met these guys. We met through you guys were doing a show at Pianos. So I was, basically I've been working at Pianos for almost a year. Well, I did my first gig there last year.
Running sound.
Yeah, doing sound. I've been audio engineering for, I think, 3 years now. And I'll talk more about production stuff later. I've been doing that for about 12 years. But doing live sound for 3, going on 4 years. I was mostly just covering for people. And then now I'm the regular Friday guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Big deal, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's
cool.
If
anyone's playing shows, Friday nights at Pianos, I'll be your audio engineer.
Hey, you ran sound like great at our show.
It was awesome, and the lighting was incredible.
The lighting was fun.
Oh my god, dude! The videos I saw of our performances, it was just like unusual. It wasn't like any other shows we've played in the past, So keep it up.
I love playing a show where the sound person like clearly had never listened to our music before, and then you're about to hit the chorus, and then the lights change anyways, and you're like, they're following what we're doing.
It's cool.
It was dope. I kind of like in March, I did the New Colossus Festival. I think I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was doing sound for that was like it was I did 5 out of the 6 days of the festival, and I think it was a Saturday of that second to last day. I just got a good run through.
Cool.
Shout out to my boy Isaiah, gave me a good run through of the lighting board, and so I kind of have had fun with it since then.
So you were talking about you do production and you do sound. What are your other bona fides?
Well, I think just how we met. Yeah, like mostly working at Pianos, producing in some capacity for about 12 years. But I don't know if that's like how bona fide it is. It feels like
you can do whatever you want.
It's honestly, we were like, if somebody
I listen to a lot. You
love music and you appreciate it.
And for this episode in particular, you're from New York.
Yeah,
and these are New York.
William Joel, man.
Yeah. So I picked Billy Joel. I guess also I saw him at the Garden a couple years ago with my mom.
That's insane.
And so I felt like that would be something cool to talk about too.
I saw him at the Garden in 2018.
Yeah. Actually, I think I did too. I think it was 2018.
It was 2018?
Yeah. Come to think of it.
Place is packed.
Yeah. It was. And he's been doing it for, I think he's had a residency there for like 15, 20 years or something.
Yeah.
So he's like, I feel like he's the quintessential New York artist in a way.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah,
and the music tells a lot of the stories about it too. I think it's like it's cool when growing up here. It's cool to hear artists who love to talk about the city and talk about like just different local references and that kind of always makes you feel sort of like proud to be from here or just to be here in general, like just to to know like
you're in the world with him.
Like,
you get it, like you get what he's talking about.
Exactly.
So the first album we got is DIIV though.
We're starting with that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is the Is Are. It was released February 5th, 2016 on Captured Tracks, which is a label based in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, local shit. So this album, it's indie rock, shoegaze, dream pop, krautrock, post-punk revival, and lo-fi.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know what the heck krautrock is. Krautrock is a broad genre of experimental rock that developed in Germany in the late 60s. Yeah. Anyways.
Sure.
It's their second album. It is preceded by Ocean.
Yeah, Ocean.
Oshin in 2013. And then it was followed by Deceiver in 2019. So there's like a decent amount of space in between their albums. This is no King Gizzard.
This was 4 years apart.
Yeah, they're working hard on their stuff.
Well, did you see why?
No, tell me.
So I looked it up, but actually Wikipedia actually has it summed up better than anywhere else.
Is it about Colby Hewitt leaving?
Well, it's a lot. It's like work on Is the Is Are began in 2013, a year following the release of the band's debut from Ocean. Its recording was plagued by various factors, including failed recording sessions with girls band Chet J.R. White, Smith, who's like the lead of the band, Smith's drug addiction and eventual arrest, controversy surrounding online remarks made by their bass guitarist, and the eventual departure of their drummer Colby Hewitt due to his own drug addiction. I can talk about more in depth though if you want. There's little things I pulled out.
Yeah,
from
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So Smith, who's what's his actual full name? I don't want to. Zachary Cole Smith.
He was drumming for Beach Fossils,
right?
Which is super cool. Love Beach Fossils.
And I don't think I know Beach Fossils.
Dude, I'm gonna sing you a song. You gotta check it out. Beach Fossils are great.
Okay.
Who else was he playing with?
I think that's
Soft Black was the other band. Just because Soft Black and Beach Fossils both kind of got him connections to get this band just like in the zeitgeist like right away with that first album. But they do Oceans and then they tour and stuff, and then Smith cancels their European tour because he felt exhausted and felt that they needed to be focused on music writing instead of like playing, which I get, but also like people bought tickets to a whole fucking like leg of your tour and then they canceled it. Like,
I'm not feeling it anymore, guys.
Like, just work on the bus.
Right.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, let's come on.
So he
do both.
I don't get it.
So he was going to play a show in New York in 2013. On his way to it, he gets arrested for drug possession. Right. Then in 2014, he goes to rehab where he starts to write material for the next album. By July, he has over 150 songs written.
Damn.
That's a lot of music.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my god.
Well, and so for this album, they had all those songs, and I read some interviews too where they claim that they had like 300 songs, but I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah, but and really when they say that, I really think they mean like I have like a riff that I don't think there's 300 full
like
songs.
Pieces.
Yeah.
Ideas, 300 ideas maybe.
Yeah, because I'm like that's a lot. And then the whittling down of the songs came down to Smith playing the songs for his friends, family, fellow musicians, and then he gets down to 60 songs. After that, he goes to LA with the songs, and with his bandmates, they combine some tracks and stuff, and then eliminate everything else, and they get it down to 17 for the album.
Cool note about Colby Hewitt is the ex-drummer for Smith Westerns. If you guys know them, they're super good, like just dreamy indie rock, kind of like what we're playing right now. Okay, they're really good.
I saw their name when I was looking at stuff for this, but I didn't listen to
them. They're good. I'll send you all a couple songs by them. So when Colby leaves in 2015, they replace him with Ben Newman of Banda Suki. and played for like most of the drums on the album. Izzy Azar. Their band name, which is super cool and ties into like if you put these out in chronological order, right? So the band name, it's originally named for the Nirvana song "DIIV."
Really?
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He says Smith says he changed from DIIV, stylized like DIVE, to all caps DIIV in May 2012 out of respect for Dirk Ivens and the original DIIV, DIVE, 1990s Belgian industrial group.
Industrial rock.
Yeah, Dirk Ivens never contacted them, but they just like changed it because
out of respect.
Yeah, it's just a nice thing to do.
Yeah, he said like the name of the band doesn't even mean anything to me.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's great, but if you change your name and I'm trying to find your music online,
it's hard.
I need to know what the band's called. Yeah.
This album was self-produced by Zachary Cole Smith, which is pretty cool.
I feel like this happens like maybe a majority of the time so far with the albums that we cover. There's usually like one person who's really the
front runner,
the
facilitator,
like,
sort of
the facilitator, who's like who's like really everything's coming from them, and usually like the band is just kind of grabbing stuff, and
speaking of the band, there's a lot of people that are like kind of doing stuff on this album to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So Zachary Cole Smith does vocals, guitars, bass, drums. Devin Rubin Perez does bass. Ben Wolf is drumming. Colby Hewitt is drumming. Colin Caulfield is drumming. Does some harmony arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
And with the artwork is by Joji Nakamura.
Mm-hmm. I like the cover a lot.
Yeah. I don't know how to say this. Cool. Bizarroids, Frederick Deming. Hayato Kiyuna.
Yeah, Hayato Kiyuna is who I wrote down for the cover.
Yeah.
And then those other artists were doing like
it's a bunch of random stuff combined together. So if you could ever look at the CD, you got to open up the jewel case and look in the booklet because there's this like spread of super psychedelic art that is just drawn from like it's like a scrapbook from all these people.
Yeah. Right. And they're giving work to a lot of artists, which is great.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah. Definitely. It's on Discogs.com. You can see like the virtual booklet. They recorded it at Strange Weather Recording Studio, which is off the L at Graham.
Cool.
And
I can just like wander over there if I want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there.
So cool.
And they also recorded at the Bunker, which is off Metropolitan, in Old Billyburg. And let's see.
Oh, interesting. So they recorded this in March 2015. It doesn't get released until February of 2016.
Right. So it was probably like mixed and mastered for a long.
There's like a lot of post on this.
Yeah. Let's see. Smith notes about that. I didn't want it to sound slick or overproduced. I wanted it to sound human and homemade. So maybe he was just tinkering with the mixes for a really long time to find what he liked.
Overthinking things.
Yeah, you know a lot about that.
Well, I think over time I've sort of gotten better at just being decisive about stuff and not trying to rush it, but having some sort of a deadline where you're like, I'm not going to put more than this amount of hours into it.
Sure.
You have to like stop yourself from just continuing on. You know, it's like if it just lingers there and it just, and I've been pretty bad and inconsistent about putting music out, but I've definitely gotten better at just saying this at this point it's done. Like I'm not going to touch it anymore. You know?
What's the longest time you've ever spent on a mix?
The thing is, like, when I'm producing, I try to make it, like, I guess in the beginning, it would take me a couple weeks. Like, I would put 60 hours at least in front of it, and then listening, and then it would take me, a couple weeks. But then, I don't know, like, over time, I think the more you produce stuff, the more ideas you get, like, the more you you figure out how you want something to sound while you're making it,
Right.
Like layering stuff becomes easier just the more you do it, and then you stop thinking as much about the mix overall and just like thinking about, does this element fit in the way I want it to?
Cool. Yeah, this is just a really cool, like, I like hearing that side of it because I'm more of like an instrumentalist.
Word.
Right. It's cool. It's like the other side of the coin.
Yeah. Dude, it's a crazy, like the process is never straightforward, but I think it's like that's
what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So, nice little trivia. DIIV they announced in April 2015 they had a show at Baby's All Right.
Oh wow,
which is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we're gonna play most of this album there at this show at Baby's All Right.
Nice.
Where's Baby's All Right?
Didn't they move? The original, I think, was in LES.
Oh, so maybe it was in.
Oh, dude, it's in Williamsburg.
Yeah,
freaking Billyburg, dude.
Yeah, but it's like it's like kind of on the.
It's close to the water.
Yeah.
It's on Broadway in Bedford.
Yeah.
So the album title, Zachary worked with 3 visual artists on the album art, right? He asked one of them to write 50 poems of nonsense words that sound profound.
Yeah.
Really cool idea. And the very, very last line of his favorite poem that was written is the is are. And he just picked that for the album because it just sounded cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to... It's the kind of thing where you hear it and you're like, what is that? Like, what does it mean?
Like, is the is are?
Yeah.
Cool. It matches the sound of the album so well.
No, it does. It does.
On this album, there's some really nice sounds.
Yeah.
The guitars they're using, Zachary is playing a Fender Cyclone HH double humbucker in black. It's 2003 to 2007. And Andrew plays a Kramer Assault Plus in limited edition fluorescent green. And there's a DIIV Discord that I saw, and it says Andrew, quote, stole this guitar from a Gibson showroom and ran.
Damn.
That is a wild looking guitar.
Yeah, imagine running out of a Gibson showroom with that.
You gotta be out of your freaking
when
mind.
I played
dude.
in when I played in our guitarist, he went to Guitar Center and he took a guitar off the wall and it like sounded great, and it was this like $1,200 acoustic, and he switched it out with his his case, and he just walked out.
Wow.
You got away with it?
Savage.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You guys have anything to add before we jump in?
Just the final thing that, for me anyways, that Smith has stated that this album like very much represents his recovering from drug addiction and trying to get just something positive out of such a negative, dark period in his life. He talked about his arrest, and actually Sky Ferrer is on this album, and she got arrested along with him. They were dating at the time. And he talked about his arrest and how he was like, this is it, I'm fucked. Like, this is the end of my career. But I cannot think of a musician that I'm like, they got arrested for drug possession. I will never listen to them again. That's like never.
Jimi Hendrix smoked weed. My parents won't let me listen to him. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, I mean, and then like dealing with heroin addiction and stuff. I mean, I think people are more sympathetic to that than anything, especially nowadays. Like,
oh, dude, definitely. Oh, you're writing music while you're like, under the needle, like
this shit happens all the time.
Like Lou Reed, okay? Lou Reed, come on.
Yeah, Lou Reed. Yeah, I don't listen to Lou Reed because he did drugs.
John Lennon.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm trying like Radiohead's like one of the only artists I can think of who are like, we don't really do drugs. Dr. Dog doesn't do drugs.
I think they smoke cigs, but
I mean that's not even like I don't even think that's like a scandal. I think it's like you got arrested for drug. Yeah, for drug possession.
What is everyone's relationship with DIIV? Have y'all ever heard of them before?
Right. I had never heard of them before.
Never heard of them ever?
Nope.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd heard, what is it? Under the Sun.
Yeah.
I'd heard Under the Sun.
Me too.
I think maybe I did because I recognized the title, but I never associated it with. I didn't know the band. You know,
it's one that everybody knows. If somebody's gonna know a song by them, that's like their most like quote unquote commercial song.
Right.
You know,
the song that's gonna be on the Kia Soul commercial,
which is great. You know, money.
True.
Yeah, make some money.
True.
What's your relationship with DIIV?
I found them in like the early days of my like indie music spiel.
Yeah.
Did
you listen to Ocean first, or did you listen to first?
I listened to this first. Probably around when it came out.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this was more popular than Ocean, anyways.
All right, first song, Out of My Mind.
Honestly, I'm gonna be perfectly real. It was tough to get through an hour. For me, like
this is an hour long.
There was long. It was a long hour. I was on a flight back from Chicago, and I think there was parts of it that were refreshing. Mm-hmm. You know, there was parts like there was certain guitar licks and drum parts and bass lines that I thought were phenomenal, which were a nice like relief from but like the lyrics, a lot of the vocals were hard to listen to. I felt like a lot of it kind of stayed in the same range. And I did write down some of the lyrics I liked, which was like when they said, "When roles reverse, my mind rewinds when I see you."
In this first song?
Yeah. Stay behind and choose which scraps to start anew. Like there were certain things that I felt like were relatable and thought provoking lyrics. But I wouldn't have been able to distinguish those just from listening to the song. So I had to look at the lyrics, which I thought were great. But yeah, the sonically, I felt very kind of lost in it,
Yeah. Feels like just one really long piece.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
I think it's a great intro to the album. I mean, it's got that, like, Brooklyn sound.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listening to this, like, when it came out, I was like, oh, shit, man. Like, is that, like, what Brooklyn sounds like?
Yeah.
I'm hearing that, like, it actually kind of does.
Yeah.
You'll hear people playing stuff like this in lots of venues right now, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, true.
The vocals when they come in, they reminded right away. I was like, that sounds like Broken Social Scene.
Oh,
like
dude,
they have these real, like some of these songs are a little further away from it, but this one when they came in, I was like, this just reminds me of that Broken Social Scene album that we listened to.
They probably listened to them.
Probably.
I bet you they did. Yeah. Do you know Broken Social Scene?
I don't.
They're good. They're
great
good.
band.
Indie,
Broken Social Scene.
Indie rock.
Indie rock. Yeah. Okay. Real bright guitar on this.
Oh yeah, dude. That's
I do like the guitar sounds.
That's the Fender Cyclone.
The Fender Cyclone.
Those are cool. Yeah.
Okay. This song's pretty driving too.
I
do like that they're kind of like hitting the ground running on this first song. Yeah. It's rolling right in.
It's a great way to start. It leads into the next song really well.
That I did notice that there wasn't if you're just listening through, like I had to check which song I was on. It kind of flows very nice.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I like when people do when artists do that and they make it feel like a complete piece of
No singles. Albums, guys. Albums. Like if you take this song out by itself, it's okay. Like within the context of this album, I think it really serves from beginning to end.
True. It was definitely an experience.
I think the progression at the end of this too is very. I love how this.
It's great.
The progression at the end, it really ends the song well. Yeah.
And at the end, it like detunes like ever so slightly. Just It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Subtle.
True.
And then we pass into Under the Sun.
Yeah, nice little fade out on the end of that.
Man, oh my god, what a good song.
Yeah.
This is my favorite one on the whole album. That's DIIV sound,
Yeah.
That bass is just doing work. Who's their bassist? What's
their bass player is Devin Rubin Perez.
Yeah, Devin Rubin Perez is for my money, my favorite person on this album because those bass licks on some of these songs are like so fucking good.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, the guitar is amazing too, but
true.
But the guitar's never too. It's always just like lightly there. He's never overplaying. But,
right.
Which leaves a lot of room for the bass to kind of jump around and have a really interesting bottom end.
Yeah, of all the songs on this album, I think this is the one that clicked for me the most. Definitely.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Same as what Nate said, the bass line. And like the psychedelic intro with that melody is interesting.
The melody is
catchy.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's so well
melody.
written.
It is.
They play the hook over and over and over, but it doesn't I don't get any ear fatigue from that at all. Right?
True.
Which is
I think they know. I think they're aware that that's going to be their big hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, they match that vocal melody with the guitar really well too.
Dude. Yes.
Yeah, I think they're kind of like hanging it all on that hook, and it pays off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good song.
Next we have Bent, Roy's song. The lead guitar literally sounds like it's sobbing.
Oh yeah. It's got the sobbing guitar bit. The bass is just driving in this song too.
Dude,
it's really fucking good.
The cymbals on there's like the hi-hat or something.
Yeah.
Just the way it's mixed, I really like that.
Yeah.
The vocals are dreamy, minimal drumming that serves the track really well.
I wrote down this line: "I saw you after a decent spell in a private hell," which I did like that lyric.
That's nice.
But yeah, I mean, and the way the vocals are in, it kind of like it doesn't like sit on top.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like thrown in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you're saying. I like that a lot.
It's kind of washed over.
Yeah.
So listening to it on headphones, my note actually was like the vocals could come up a little bit in the mix.
Definitely.
But when I listened to it on speakers, they seem to come through. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, just guitar solo just kicks ass on this song. It's really fucking good.
It's like 2 minutes long too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But he doesn't get crazy with it. He's holding something back, right?
True.
Yeah, disclaimer for this album. I love this album. I love this sound. But I have a note in here that sasays, if you're not into this sound, you can get tired of this.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Dude.
Because I'm sitting here listening. I was listening to this on the train like a couple weeks ago or whatever, and I was like, I'm so into this. This is great. And then at some point it kept on going, and I was like, I think this is going to lose a lot of people. At a certain
point. I think this is where I started to get tired.
Yeah,
I think that the 2 minute, like, it's or maybe right after this, like the 2 minute guitar solo was like, all right, I'm starting, because it feels a lot like Under the Sun. It feels like by the end, I don't know. At this point, I was like, it's going to be another like 40 minutes of this or less, and I was like, I don't know, but I did it, So I
just realized, I think like this album is really contextual. Like I can't just like sit down and listen to it. I need to be like in transit or like doing something at nighttime or like something like that. Just not sitting.
Yeah. I mean, I was on a plane, so I wasn't transit.
Right.
Dopamine thoughts.
Great intro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that drum sliding is really nice.
I said, the guitar comes in and still like along the similar mode as Bent and Under the Sun. I felt like you kind of maybe they just like kept going with that theme, which is cool. But yeah, by this time I was kind of like so used to hearing it that it didn't really have the same spark as when I was listening to Under the Sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did like the lyric, shots ringing out, I'm soaking, eardrum shaking, like the description of it.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of like juxtaposing in the lyrics on this one about like his shame with drug addiction. Yeah. This one I think is like the song on the album that is like the most not associated with, like married to his arrest,
right?
Sure,
and stuff. I think this was the first like full song he had written for this album.
Yeah,
I think the intro is kind of like Midwest emo a little bit.
Oh yeah,
that guitar.
Oh yeah,
I've been really into lately.
Some like Hawthorne Heights.
I don't know the band. Are they good?
If we remember, I'll show them to you.
Okay.
Later.
Okay. Yeah. This song has a lot of nostalgia in it that I don't like. I can't put my finger on. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like reaching somewhere really far back.
Yeah.
Like a memory you had when you were a kid that's like glowing and a little fuzzy.
Sure.
Something like that.
And then I just love how the drums are mixed on this track too.
Who makes all this?
The snare and the toms are great.
It's so well done. Jacob Portrait. Kurt Feldman.
Jacob Portrait.
Yeah. Daniel Schlett. Zachary Cole Smith. Yeah, a great mixing team.
True.
Cool. And then next we have Sky Ferreira.
Sky Ferreira.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's okay. It's only because I've listened to a couple of her albums that I know.
Blue Boredom featuring Sky Ferreira.
Yeah.
She sounds like what's the singer from the Cocktail Twins? What's her name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. So actually these guys remind me of Cocktail Twins too.
Elizabeth she sounds like Elizabeth Fraser from the Cocktail Twins.
Yeah.
Which is great. And what did you say while we were
so on this song she doesn't though. On this song Sky Ferreira she's really low.
Which is out of the ordinary for her, right?
It's out of the ordinary. It's interesting that they went with that choice. And she's doing like a stream of consciousness thing a little bit on this song too.
I love it.
And it's just so out of the normal zone for her. She's usually singing like a poppy hook or something. But I love Sky Ferreira. I love her music.
Yeah. No, I wrote spoken word vocals.
Cool.
The way it's very poetic the way she delivers. And it is very like dark, like gloomy kind of guitar.
Yeah. Gloomy is a really good word.
Yeah.
She says like
grungy also.
A blanket curse, a made up bed that waits in heaven.
I wrote that down.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's good, dude. It's good.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, the writing of this album, I think like they're delivering their theme really well and effectively.
Yeah.
I think. If you like that sound again, right?
Yeah.
I love the sound. I love this shit.
Yeah.
And so far, it's like I'm halfway into it. I'm like, oh yeah, like what else can they do?
Yeah.
Because I know they're holding back at least like a little bit because the album isn't even halfway done. Valentine. There's a lot of weird noises in the background going on. I love that. They're switching it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, yeah, the soundscape definitely, a lot comes in that you're not, like it could be a guitar, it could be just like some random sound. That, like,
some weird sample or something.
Yeah. Especially in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
The lyrics to me I wrote that they were kind of obscure and didn't feel like contextual with the rest of the project, like, and just like the right side of me is the right side of me, burn it down and give it up. You never want to give it, like, I don't know. I was just kind of, I think I got a little confused listening to this one.
Maybe it's just more of like that stream of consciousness kind of stuff from Blue Boredom.
Yeah, right? Maybe.
He's just singing.
Yeah.
In the studio, like, all the time, like we're jamming, I'll sing random shit that pops in my head.
I feel that.
Oh yeah, but yeah, like in the context of the album, like.
Okay.
Because so far this album has been pretty purposeful.
Yeah.
And now, then you get to this. I mean, because he has it says like medicine for free. If you'd only asked for me, I'd be a better animal in every other little way. I feel like this is related. I just don't know. It's so metaphorical. I'm not sure what he's singing about.
Yeah. I kind of get where he's going with it. They're sort of like maybe emulating a sort of like feeling of delirium.
The lead guitar tone is really nice. Super simple, but super effective.
Yeah.
And there's a really great guitar duet in the middle of song filled with texture.
Yeah.
One
of those guitars has like a ton of reverb on it. And like, it sounds like, like when it sounds like you're listening to it live. It has like that kind of reverb that really feels like you're in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the push and pull. Like they're talking to each other, but like they're really far away.
Yeah. Yeah. And then one of them's a little closer, and then the other one is way bigger.
They do it a little bit with the vocals too, because they have the vocals just kind of normal, and then they put a ton of effects on the vocals at one point, and it just changes everything. Yeah. And it goes back at the end.
Yeah, it feels like washed out, and then it feels more
cool. Yeah. This is one of my favorites on the album.
Really?
I really like this song. Yeah.
Cool. Up next is You're Not Far.
But did that have a fade out on it too?
Kind of. It had like a...
Oh, okay.
Some weird like wet noise.
Yeah, it's just the same.
It's On Your Own, You're Not Far. Just repeated.
Yeah, repeated. And they don't even put it on Apple Music, so I guess that he was saying You're Not Far because of the title. But, I was like, what...
It's weird.
Yeah, there's no lyrics posted on it.
The bass intro is fantastic. I wrote, underlined, what drop tuning is this on this bass? It is so good.
Yeah.
It's dark and dirty, and the lead guitar brings it back up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I wrote down like very emo kind of intro.
Yes,
to the song.
Hell yeah.
It is.
The recurring guitar hook is really, really catchy.
Yeah.
Well, he knows how to write a good hook.
Yeah, this thing's just full of guitar hooks.
Hook machine, baby.
Most of this is written around.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can tell he's a guitar player wrote this album.
Yeah. Definitely.
Next we got
Take Your Time.
Yeah, Take Your Time. It's a great like middle album song.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy stands out, but it's really
more great bass.
Oh my god, dude! I know.
Definitely.
The bass is so good.
It's got the guitar is very like some like the softer like My Chemical Romance kind of songs.
Okay,
is what it's reminding me of. And then the vocals come in and they've got this like Jesus and the Mary Chain sound to them. And then I read later on that they Jesus and the Mary Chain was one of their inspirations on the album.
Cool.
And I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
I hear you. Funky bass line.
Yeah.
Again, comparing it to the Killers' guitar, like their guitar lick, and the lyrical like flurry. Just take your time.
At this point is when I'm like, I would like something to sound like kind of different.
Yeah.
Maybe an energy shift or it's like something needs to happen right now.
Yeah.
So up next we have
title track.
Say it.
Title track.
Is Are.
Yes.
Both these albums have title tracks,
which is cool.
True.
Yeah.
True that.
Oh, cool ending too.
Dude, yeah. What a great song. Holy shit.
That's a good one.
The bass player is the star of this show. I think we've all agreed
100%
at this point.
This one's what? It's 3 minutes. Okay. I thought it was a little shorter.
Dude, it's a solid title track.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are flops.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was good. I like the drums too. They're not
the
using
drums
a lot of
are
cymbals.
Different on this one.
Which is it's hitting now and back.
Yeah.
Right, that was my note. I was like, this is kind of keeping it fresh on the album.
True. Even for me, I think so. I was like, it was refreshing to hear a different type of, type of drums, a still similar guitar lick, but like doing something.
It's a little different.
Different bringing it up a bit, speeding up the pace.
Yeah, there's some momentum introduced back into the album at this point.
Some brighter vocals on this one too.
Yeah. I wrote down happy vibe.
Yeah.
It has a nice drone feel throughout the whole thing. And in the back, there's some awesome guitar licks that are like tape reversed, which is like, that's like, okay, you really have me now. There's a lot of new stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'm back on the DIIV train.
They're messing around.
Yeah. Being a little more exploratory with their sound. There's a nice punctuated ending and like a little shimmer. Meyer, Grant's song. There's still 30 seconds left.
Right.
I always forget about that part. What do y'all think of this song? It's a long one, but it's pretty good.
They do like a strum build into it at the start, which is a different intro than they've been doing. I mean, but it's also because they have the little thing that says it's somebody else's song. I don't know if somebody else wrote it or not, but or if it's just dedicated to that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The song for Grant.
When the guitar kicks in at 2:30.
Oh, dude,
I really like that. I like have a lot of fun with it, and then
he's screaming right when that happens.
He's screaming. This is like sloppier than their other songs, which I like. I like that it's a little sloppy.
They kind of broke the mold with it in a lot of ways, and like we were talking about the layered guitars and the like, they added more overdrive definitely, and like just it's like a bit punchier, I think.
Yeah, there's more like body and like mass to this song.
Yeah,
the second half of the song, it feels like they're like disassembling their sound and it's kind of falling apart. Not in like a crazy way, just like, I don't know. They're losing their theme, but almost intentionally,
right?
I guess. Oh, and then the end has the King Cruel kind of like really low, slowed down guitar.
Yeah,
which is really nice for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
The guitar solo is just so fantastic.
Incarnate Devil.
Yeah, Incarnate Devil. What y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the guitar sound was again really good.
Good tone for sure,
and some sick drumming again, good bass line, like, and kind of goes back to the earlier part of the album a bit, but also changes certain things that I like the lyrics too.
Yeah, read some.
Fade to zero. I'm misinformed. I'm barely born. Gone to the void, with the incarnate devil and a talking snake.
Yeah,
I don't know, just like. It definitely thematically it gets like it's like gets darker, but then the guitar sounds get brighter, and like it's weird. It's like a weird contrast of like the instrumentals up tempo, but then the lyrics that are like super dark.
Yeah, it's working really well.
Yeah, some like religious imagery in the lyrics. Yeah, the opening with the drum roll, like right into a crazy guitar part, is a lot of fun.
True.
Gets super jammy at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah, I do like the instrumentals. Like when they're getting really jammy.
I just can't stop thinking about like this would be I think if they put out a concert of them playing this album front to back, I think that would be more entertaining than like just their studio version.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
I hear you.
I think a lot of their sound has to do with like the visuals of their band too. Just like them up there on stage.
Yeah, it was kind of hard, like, listening to it and not knowing anything about the band or, like, having no context for it and just listening to the record front to back.
The way the podcast is arranged this week, I only knew one song. I knew Under the Sun.
Yeah.
And it was my pick. So it's, like, it's pretty good. And I just didn't know anything about them at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. And then we go on to, in parentheses, fuck.
That's what.
Oh yeah, 13 seconds. I was like, what? Okay.
That's what plays when your mom is like,
"Did you
do your chores?"
Yeah, it's kind of like a doomy, bassy kind of interlude.
Yeah,
that's all.
Literally.
It's great.
Yeah.
Good placement. I wrote great placement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of in there.
True.
Healthy Moon. Healthy Ethan Moon.
Healthy Ethan Moon.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow, guys, this song is so good. I think it's placed perfectly, and they're finally introducing like a piano.
Yeah, I noticed
a lot softer side of the band is shown here. I think this is really what like Williamsburg like feels like when you're walking around. You know, it's just nice. It's just a nice sound, and it's a pretty part of town.
Yeah.
I think that this could be the final track on the album.
Yeah.
They could still put some of these other tracks that are coming up, like somewhere in there, but this, I think, is a good...
This is the ender, dude.
Ender.
Yeah.
Yeah. This, I do think Dust could also be a good ender, but... yeah, I think for time-wise, too, I think this would be, like, kind of well-placed for that.
Yeah. His guitar is just... The melodies are just really simple. Like, he knows how to write an effective guitar melody.
Yeah.
That, like, soars and shines over the band.
Yeah.
I wrote Wild Nothing Adjacent.
Wild Nothing, yeah. I was thinking, like, Tycho. And, The War on Drugs, like... Yeah, or War on Drugs, whatever. Anyways. Very dreamy guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
Plays out with the piano, just really simply, just bomb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't like do too much either. It just keeps it simple. It's like very digestible guitar melodies.
And this is another one of my favorites on the album.
Oh yeah. I think it was number 2 for me.
There's some good lyrics too. There's a dead moon in my head that claws the ground, both lost and found, and fleeting to crash into again.
I like those.
Yeah.
There's a dead moon in my head. The imagery of that is crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. Up next, Loose Ends. Okay, this is my second favorite. This song is so good. Oh my god.
No, I was definitely like kind of surprised by the end of the album.
Right. Because they're bringing in stuff where you're like, you could have put this a little more at the front and kept my interest a little more.
Yeah,
exactly.
They could have moved it, moved some of the middle tracks down and put these up, and then it would have felt like more transitional. And I like what they did with the lyrics. And I mean, just like, I don't know if you like when you're listening to it, you don't think about the do you feel, does it feel segment in terms of quotes, but then like when you're reading it and you're thinking about like, kind of where they go down, like, does it feel watered down? Does it feel over now? Do you feel watered down? Do you feel older now?
Yeah.
Like, does it feel, and then it repeats, like, you're not thinking about, you're just thinking about those kind of literally, but then when you think about it, it's like it's like a conversation. Then it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, the lyrics are really good on it. I mean, they're like about a breakup. You know? Yeah.
True.
Loose ends, tying it up after all that shit's done and over with.
They're very, these are like really good at like being in conversation, having kind of a metaphor to them, but being direct at the same time. It's really well written.
Absolutely.
There's a really nice like melancholy sound to it. It's like, it's over.
It's like my big note was
it's
melancholy.
Good like driving music, I think. And I don't, as a native New Yorker, I don't drive. I got my license, but like,
Napa in parentheses.
Yeah.
I do appreciate them putting their little like interludes in parentheses.
I love that too.
Yeah,
I love that. That's some creepy shit.
My note for this was it's like the intro to 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins, but if it just never ended.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Billy Corgan again coming up.
Billy Corgan.
I just remembered who I was thinking about MGMT actually.
Oh, cool.
And a lot, like the vocal production, a lot of it. Andy Van Wingarden.
That's what their names are?
That's the lead singer's name.
Cool.
Yeah. I hear it. Yeah.
So after that we have Dust. Dust is good.
A lot of like screaming guitar. Turn the amps up a little bit.
Yeah, bringing out all the stops.
Yeah.
Dude, the guitar and bass are in nice conversation with each other in this song. Playing off one another really well.
Right.
But I feel like in this song, at some certain points, the bass is acting like a third melody rather than like a rhythm instrument. And that just kind of like, that's another like new thing they're doing that's I'm still interested in this album.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they could capitalize on that by ending the album here.
Right.
Yes, dude. Yes, exactly, man.
It's like the third song in a row where they could have done that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This was the one where I wrote down like, I'm very partial to this sound, so I'm still into this. Yeah. But especially at this point in the album, like, it feels like they can overstay their welcome for anybody who's not a listener of this kind of music. But I do think that the guitar kicks ass on this.
Yeah. No, you're right. It does. The lyrics get just like super dark. Also, they kind of just like it goes just a lot of like existential dread.
It goes down the drain, dude.
Yeah, it really does. left me choked in white in a patch of light, feeling like a wick wax drowned in bright, burned skin and string black ashes slight. Like, it's like,
what does that even mean?
Damn, dude.
Dark as fuck.
God, dude.
And then Wasted Breath.
It's a good song. Not the best choice for an ender, but
yeah, I think that Dust is such like a big thing where they're doing like all this new stuff on it and stuff. It's like a great way to end the album. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like they go down, but it's not like we've listened to some albums where like they go down at the end and they just it's just like the singer with an acoustic. And they're like kind of putting the album out like right there.
Strip it down.
There's a punctuation mark. This is not a punctuation mark. No. This is something else. Like
it's like a whole new vibe almost.
This feels like half of a double album right here.
Right.
That's exactly how I feel about this.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just like an interesting.
Well, there's this band, Current Joys, that this reminds me of. Yeah.
Oh my god! Yes.
But nothing else in this album has reminded me of them, and I'm like, this is such a departure.
Yeah. The drum intro is super great. I wrote the way the snare is mic'd / mixed is really cool and interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't think they haven't done it like that.
The drums sound great on this. I really like the drums on this song.
True.
But that's the last song on the album.
It's the last song.
Does anyone have any like parting thoughts of DIIV?
Who would own this on vinyl?
I fucking totally
I think I would own this on vinyl.
Oh my god.
I definitely wouldn't own this. I'm glad you guys like it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's cool to hear your perspectives on it. And,
same, dude.
You know, and I'm just it kind of out in left field for me. And I do hear a good mix of everything at work, and it honestly did bring me back to like Bard has a big indie scene, a lot of like a lot of bands touring or like just garage bands in general, and this brought me back to those days, enjoying being there and so it did bring back some nostalgia and
so
what
DIIV. So it came out in 2016 for the Billboard Top 200. The week we're doing February 21st to the 27th, because they did chart, and they are at number 81. Finally, an indie band that we do on this podcast charts. I think that's the first time.
Word.
Like a slightly lesser known kind of. Yeah.
And so, it was on the chart for 1 week.
Yeah.
It was there.
It was there.
Super cool. Number 10 is Isla by Kevin Gates. Blurry Face by 21 Pilots. I've never heard this music. Wonderful Crazy Night by Elton John.
Mm-hmm. He pops up a good amount.
Now 57.
Now that's what I call music. 57. Wow. Yeah.
So at number 6 was Khalifa by Wiz Khalifa.
I remember when that came out.
Me too.
2016. Yeah.
Purpose by Justin Bieber. It was number 5. A Head Full of Dreams by Coldplay was number 4. Anti by Rihanna was number 3. 25 by Adele, number 2.
There you go.
And Evolve by Future is number 1.
Word. That's a good Future album.
I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
He's from Baltimore,
Wicked. Right? No, I think Atlanta. Is that one has the song Wicked on it, which is one of my favorite Future songs. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, this is also Coldplay, A Head Full of Dreams is kind of the beginning of the... I mean, they'd already started, but this is like really them going full tilt into just like electronic and going away from
the beginning of the end of Coldplay.
Yeah. Them and Maroon 5, they both kind of just like did the switch at the same time.
Number 200 is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
This is also just a couple weeks off from the 1975 album that because I think that they take number 1 like 2 weeks after this comes out or something.
That is...
Dude, Adele's number 20... Sorry, Adele's 21 is at number 26. It's on its 260th week on the charts.
Oh my god, dude.
That album was so big!
Yeah.
I know.
I've said this before on the podcast.
Yeah.
That is DIIV, everybody.
Yeah, they followed it up with a tour in Australia.
Cool.
Nice.
Such a good music scene down there.
St. Jerome's Laneway Festival. However, just 2 days prior to the release, on February 3rd, Smith announced he was checking in for long-haul inpatient treatment. Yeah, so The Stranger, I mean, this is really why you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was the reason I chose this pairing, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
I was so freaking blown away by what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your relationship
all right,
to some Billy Joel?
Well, first of all, I think New York State of Mind, right? It's funny, New York State, and it's not on this album, but I didn't even know about this song until a friend of mine actually sampled it on a drill beat. And,
Cool.
Yeah, and then I like got really like, and then he talks about taking the Hudson River line, which I went to school upstate, where I take the Amtrak or Metro North up the Hudson. Also, there's like a Nas song, New York State of Mind, which is one of my favorite. That's my favorite hip hop album ever. And that song is probably one of my favorite songs on the album. So Queens, yeah, like where we're at right now. And yeah, in 2018, my mom and I went to the Garden and saw Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he played a lot of the songs on this album. It's weird because it's almost not a New York sound, essentially. You know what I mean? It's like not an essential New York sound. It's just like...
I feel like he's like shoehorned his way into being an essential New York sound.
Yes, and taking influences from all over. It's I'd say it's like almost like Americana in a way. Yeah, like so many different influences. Clearly, like jazz. This album has saxophone all over it. Which you don't hear a lot of saxophone.
Well, once you hit 52nd Street too, his next album, he's got like actual jazz riffs on the album.
Yeah,
like breaking up in the middle of songs. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, and this was my first time listening to it from beginning to end, and I didn't realize just listening to like Vienna is my favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
But then Only the Good Die Young is like the kind of song you hear your parents listening to it when you're growing up, and moving out I guess becomes it's like a subtle hit, I think, but you're like as you grow up you kind of think more about that song. I was at the record store in Williamsburg, and I found this album on vinyl, so I actually do have it on vinyl.
Yeah,
and sampled the intro to The Stranger.
Yeah,
and the whistling,
yes,
dude, it's like one of the most unique and creative melodic expressions I think that I've ever heard.
So you said you haven't listened to this all the way through before, right?
Yeah.
So do you think like now, like within context of like the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
The songs have more meaning.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. It's a bigger it's a bigger than the sum of its parts. Now, right.
100%.
Which is crazy because like the songs on their own are so good.
Yeah.
They're so good.
A lot of these songs charted. I think at least half of them got released as singles and charted on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 of them. To see how successful this album is. And then when you listen to it too, you're like, of course it was.
Makes sense. Yeah. Sounds fucking great.
No, it really is. You don't get like bored at any... I don't think there's a single point where you're like, why am I... like you want to skip. I think it's a no skip project.
They're out before the end, before you can even get tired of it anyways.
Yeah.
What? So do you have like a relationship with Billy Joel at all? Or
I'm from East Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I'm just hearing it on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
My dad I think he has records of it.
Yeah.
You go to a party, or like your parents have people over or whatever, they're gonna play that song.
Yeah.
They're always gonna play like any song from this album.
Only the Good Die Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know like how old I was. I just he's just always he's always been in my heart.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been around.
Always there.
Yeah.
What about you?
I listened to this album a lot growing up. Like my mom would play this thing from front to back. This was like one of the things on rotation.
Yeah.
And then I saw him in maybe it was 2016 for the first time. I saw him at the Pepsi Center in Denver, and then I saw him in 2018 at the Garden, and then I saw him again in 2019 it must have been, like right after when he played Rockies Stadium in Colorado. And it was just like crazy. Like every time I've seen him, it's been like a fucking great show.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is sold out and everybody is like screaming the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I mean, he gets up and he does the whole thing where he like throws his mic stand and everything.
Yeah.
And then he just collapsed on stage recently too.
Shit.
And he got diagnosed with, I can't remember what it's called, but he got diagnosed with whatever. And it's like, you have like inflamed tissue in your brain and stuff. But I was reading about it and people have treated it in the past. So like if he rests and recovers enough, he might be able to undo
He'll be
it.
fine.
He's like, how old is he now?
He's got to be almost old. He's gonna be like 78 or something.
For this dude to still be doing shows the way he is,
like at that caliber, like,
it's unbelievable.
You know?
And still singing. I mean, didn't miss a beat.
But this is his 5th studio album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Phil Ramone produced it.
Of the Ramones.
Yeah, of the Ramones. Yeah. No. He went on to produce his next 5 albums too, so they work really well together. Wow. He picked him because Columbia was going to drop Joel if this album didn't sell well, because Piano Man was this huge hit, but he was sort of a one-hit wonder at that point. Yeah. And then his next 2 albums after that were just like bombs, and then they didn't do well. They weren't like bombs completely, but they did not do well. And then so Columbia was like, we're gonna get rid of you unless this next album is good. So he insisted. He was like, my band that I toured on my last album, Turnstiles, with. Right.
Great album. Man.
I need to, and I have a copy of that up on my wall.
Yeah, you do. I've seen it.
Wow. And he's got so it consists of the drummer Liberty DeVito, Doug Stagmeyer, Richie Kanata. Yeah, and so those are his band members, and he really wanted to go into the studio with them. Mm-hmm. So then he hits up George Martin, who produced who produced the Beatles, and goes like, I want to go in the studio with my bandmates and stuff. Mm-hmm. George Martin insisted that he needed to go into the studio with session players. But he was like, I think my last few albums tanked because I keep on being forced to use session players. Right. I want to use people I know. Right. And
that's a really tough spot to be in, dude.
George Martin wouldn't move. So he was like, I can't go with him.
It shows how much like willpower this guy has.
Yeah, that he has, and focus on like his career.
Imagine turning down George Martin, that's insane.
And then if you need a good album, you're basically like, you got the guy who does that. You know what I mean? Like, he's like the one resource that would probably guarantee it. And then, but you're choosing the people, the familiarity of the environment, to create the work over the brains behind the operation.
Basically telling him, like, you don't understand. Like, I work well with these people. Yeah. Like, I need them.
Chemistry is very important when it comes to making music.
He's listening to Paul Simon. He loves how one of his albums is produced. Mm-hmm. He winds up looking at it, finding out that Phil Ramone is the producer on the album. So he picks him. Phil Ramone sits down with him at the restaurant where the Italian restaurant song is. And he tells him, like, I totally understand why you want your people on this. Yeah. I totally get it. We need to record this with a team of people who understand what's going on. Totally. And then they go into the studio.
They don't have like the same guitarist anywhere on throughout the whole album. He switches it up a lot, which is I don't know, it's interesting. He features different guitar players on each song. According to Billy Joel, the reason was for the initial lack of a constant guitarist was because it was hard to find the right one. Yeah. Which is cool. That's why each song has like a slightly different guitar flavor too, which is cool.
It works in favor of the album.
Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah, so this is recorded at A&R Recording Incorporated in New York City. Yeah, okay, so Moving Out. Yeah.
What a song, dude.
Oh, yeah, what a good song.
Moving Out. I mean, an instant
Anthony's song.
Hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, the idea of who needs a house out in Hackensack? Is that what you get for your money? Like, you work your ass off, to buy a little house. It's like the idea of, like, a perfect, like, the American dream. Like, you just buy a house out in the suburbs. Yeah. And, like, you got your picket fence. It's like, and then what? You know what I mean? Like, you're just like...
Yeah.
Are you really happy with that? Like, you know what I mean? Is that really going to do it for you? Like, you're really just going to work your whole life?
For your money?
Yeah. Like, you can work your ass off so you can go get a house in the suburbs and maybe that's okay for some people, but it's not okay.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he talks about like even like going to the military, or taxes probably too. Yeah. You can pay Uncle Sam with the overtime. Is that all you get for your money?
Yeah.
That backing guitar is super quacky. Just
oh yeah,
the whole song.
Rhythm guitar.
Yeah, it's so freaking good. Yeah. The chord progression is great. It's like I feel like no matter what we say about this album, it's just like. The final word is just everything is so thoughtful and intentional.
Oh yeah, I mean this is in my top 10 favorite albums easily.
I love this
album. I love the way that they balance the choruses with the verses. I mean they are clearly separate parts and they bridge them so well.
So seamlessly.
The car.
The car at the end.
So the car is the bass player's 1965 or 66 maroon convertible Corvette C2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which I thought was just, it's cool. They could have gotten some random car.
Right. But when you hear it squealing away at the end.
That's him. That's the bass player. Doug, right? That's him driving it away. That's so cool, man.
It's like
that's
burning rubber.
yeah.
For the record. Like, that's sick.
Yeah, and they don't have to like worry about copyright or anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Take a mic outside.
Just steal it from a movie.
Yeah.
Just whip it and pull the mic out. Like,
it's a cool car
why
too.
the hell not?
The Stranger.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just like the best musical decision making I think almost ever. You know, like I can't think of just like choices where it's like free.
Yeah, because it's like starting down low and it works its way up and then it explodes and then you go right back down to that bottom point again. Exactly. It's so good.
It's concise and it's exactly what you want it to be. You know?
I almost feel like the whistling part is like real, like reality. That's the Stranger.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then everything that happens in between the whistling is like in his head, or he's like daydreaming about it or something. It is.
Yeah.
Everything on this album, I'm getting some crazy cool imagery.
Incredible, dude. And because it gives you like the Western, it almost like this like Western setting feels
but
like
with
it's
the
like
nice like
Western.
It has a classical flavor to it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know how you put those two together.
Yeah, well, because he loves Chopin. He like loves playing Chopin.
It's so obvious.
He's got a live album where he explains where all his songs came from, and he like plays a lot of
the references.
He plays a lot of like classical piano parts during the concert too. So the whistling was kept in after the fact. So he needed to show Ramon his like he needed to like explain to him what the progression was going to be. So he whistled it, and Ramon got it on recording. And he was like, "This is so good.
Are you
this is going to be and I'm going to put this in the song." And they worked it in.
Imagine like recording him whistling. He's just like demonstrating, and that's how good your whistle is.
His whistle's really good.
What the hell?
It would take me like 500 takes probably to whistle like that.
Yeah. Because then it comes into the piano part that's the same, and it's not overdone at all. I mean, you're happy to hear it again.
And it's in tune,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
And then the beat. The beat is this very like kind of like jagged. He was messing with the drum machine, and it was one of the settings on there. Wow. And he asked, he showed it to Liberty, and he was like, "Can you just do this on the drums?
Wow,
when we play it?"
He's like, "Yeah, dude."
He's like, "Yeah." So they wrote it. Like
cool.
That. Yeah. Also, the effects on his vocals, I love on this song, and the guitar sounds great.
Yeah. Dude, the guitars always sound great. They never don't sound. Yeah. It's awful.
It's perfectly done.
Just the way you are.
Just the way you are.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a song!
Incredible. Honestly, you don't expect the sax in a lot of ways. Like I feel like. From the first few songs, you're like, where did this horn come from? You know, like,
or the Rhodes.
Yeah, or the Rhodes.
What the hell? Where's it coming from?
Yeah,
it's great though. It's
you guys are talking about the Rhodes at the start of it.
Yeah. Coming from that whistling, it's like a smack of tone. It's so nice.
It's a huge contrast.
I think that sax solo in the middle of it. That's like every Hallmark movie that takes place in New York distilled into one solo.
Yeah,
it's so well done.
It is.
Oh my God! With the music behind it.
Yeah.
This is about his wife at the time, Elizabeth Weber. She was also his manager.
Cool.
That comes up later in another song. The melody came to him in a dream.
No way.
Of course it did.
And then he he forgot it in the middle of the day, and he was like, "Fuck, it was a good one." And then he was in a business meeting, and he was bored, and his mind wandered, and it came back to him.
Wow.
Seriously, that's incredible.
And then he showed it to Ramon, and Ramon was like, "You got to keep this on the album." He was like, "This does not fit on the album. I don't think it should be here. I think we should do it on a later album." Yeah. And then Ramon called up Linda Ronstadt and Phoebe Snow, and the two of them came in and listened to him before the song, and they both went, "You have to keep this on the album."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I guess I have to now."
Yeah. It's Linda Ronstadt, dude. You gotta listen to what she says.
Exactly. And then the synth imitating the backing vocal kind of thing is like very 10cc. It's very like of the time, but it works really well on this. I think it really keeps it all contained.
Yep.
Yeah. The song's freaking great. And the super long fade out.
Yeah.
The Paul Simon album that he heard him on was still crazy after all these years that he got Ramon from. And this sounds a lot like that album.
Scenes from an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this one. Holy shit, what a good song. This is my favorite one on the whole album.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
No doubt. Yes.
Yeah.
Scenes from an Italian restaurant is fantastic.
Bro,
the imagery is just crazy.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
I showed this song to during COVID.
What she
and we jammed out to it about every day.
Yes.
She loved it, and so we would listen to this a lot during COVID when we were just like living together, hanging out.
Yeah.
I would rock out to this while cooking dinner like every day. Yeah, I love this song.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, there's so much in there, you know.
Oh, there's an accordion in the back of the mix. Which is so nice. Yeah. Oh,
right. Well, it's got that Italian restaurant imagery, you know.
Yeah. He swells the cymbals on with some mallets.
Yeah. Yep.
More sax. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But the real dude, when that speed up happens, that tempo shift.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just picks up immediately.
Wow.
And it's a cacophony of like just jazz and funk, dude. You know? It's just crazy.
So much like melody going on.
Yeah.
It really could like go off the rails, but they keep it tight. I mean, everything is contained. Yeah. It is great.
It reminds me of, like street performers, like busking. You know, it's like the horn is like you see a lot, it's like New York busking is like, it's like it could be, you could pick up a guy, be like, playing outside of Grand Central or like in Union Square, and be like, yo, come to the studio and just just riff for a bit.
Yeah, riff for a bit and just like get the. I mean, I think that's why he's got like his performers on this, because he's like, I know how well these guys can riff together. I know how well like they can all play on something.
Yeah.
This has 3 different songs in it. Like he has like 3 different sections of the song.
True.
The Italian restaurant song, Things Are Okay in Oyster Bay, and the Ballad of Brendan and Eddie, and they're all stitched together. And he was inspired by the medley at the end of Abbey Road, and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and then the back of the album features him and the band and Ramon eating at an Italian restaurant.
Yeah,
it's such a classic. 1970s kind of like New York picture. It makes me think of like the Mob a little bit.
No, like Goodfellas almost.
Yeah. So next one's Vienna. I think both yours and my favorite on the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's got like that little touch that Desperado does of like the really quiet kind of
little flourish.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a great song. That accordion solo in the middle is just so nice.
And lyrically, it hits home, you know.
Lyrically, it's perfect.
Anyone who's pursuing music or feels this sense of drive, or has, honestly, anyone who has dreams that they're committed to, it's like you can keep dreaming and don't imagine it'll all come true, like, like you'll burn out halfway through getting where you want, and like that idea is so humbling, it's like whatever you see yourself achieving, you're like, if you were to cut that in half, like, would you still be happy with it? Like,
he went on a trip with his dad to Vienna. And they're walking. Actually, I think his dad moved to Vienna, and he's walking around, and he sees this old woman in the street sweeping stuff up. And he's like, "Why is an old woman having to sweep the streets?" And his dad was like, "No, it's because old people here get something to do still."
Yeah.
And he talked for a minute about. He's like, "We treat old people horribly, especially in the U.S., but like we just kind of like tuck them away in homes until they die." And he was like, "And in Vienna, like they give them jobs to do." So he's talking about like. Even if you've like dreamed big and you're like really trying to like move forward with music and stuff, and you don't make it, like just remember Vienna waits for you. You still have something.
Oh, that's nice.
That's beautiful.
Nice. Holy shit.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Only the good die young.
Perfect driving song. Windows down.
Yeah.
For me, I was like out in the Hamptons or whatever. Like it's like a song my uncle loves to listen to, and when we're driving around, it's just like an upbeat, good vibe. And there's a lot of, there's so many lines in there that you could unpack.
Yeah. Come on, Virginia.
Yeah.
Wait.
Rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. That's the one that, you know what I mean? Like, because the sinners are much more fun. Like, I love that,
Yeah, there's a lot. They showed you a statue, told you to pray. They built you a temple and locked you away.
Yep.
He's just singing about a boy confessing his love to an abstinent Catholic girl.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
He's saying like, yeah, only the good die young. Like live life while you can.
Yeah.
You know, like don't let other people's decisions limit what you do in life. And, yeah.
So far, every song has had a really nice message. There's no crazy.
No.
Shit, like dive, like
he wrote this.
Contrast to have these two next to each other. Dude.
He was opening for the Beach Boys in Knoxville, and he wrote this.
Dude, wow,
full circle.
Originally, he had a reggae beat to it, and Ramon corrected him in the studio and was like, "This will be better."
Good call.
Yeah. And then Hugh McCracken plays guitar on it.
Did a great job.
She's always a woman,
dude. Oh my god, this song is screaming Paul McCartney to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude.
It's really
the
pretty.
Guitar work, the vocals, the harmonies on the humming. He does that in "I've Just Seen a Face." You know?
Yeah.
Maybe they were hanging out.
I've just seen a face.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He was in with the Beatles as soon as he could.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney showed up for that closing of Shea Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
Do we have any context as to if there's like a specific woman he's talking about in this?
So it's his wife at the time, who was also his manager. And a lot of the time they would go into business meetings and stuff, and all these, and then she would leave the room. Then all these men would go like, "She's so," because she would like fight for as much money as she could get from her and stuff. And they'd be like, "How can you be married to her? She's so like cutthroat and stuff.
Bossy.
She's not like a woman or anything."
Yeah.
And so it's a commentary on women in business being prosecuted for doing their job well.
Right.
And so that's why he has the lyric in there, "Blame it all on yourself because she's always a woman to me."
Yeah.
Like this is all your. I mean, like if you have a problem with her, this is coming from you because she's just doing her fucking job and she's doing it better than you can do your job, and that's probably why you're insecure about it.
Yeah.
He imagined this being a Gordon Lightfoot song when he wrote it.
Wow.
So you kind of get that. That's where the
cool.
Yeah, like Paul McCartney acoustic touch comes in. I mean, that's similar. Yeah.
It's beautiful. The guitar work is beautiful, man.
Yeah. It's a really subtle song, and it's
the placement is perfect.
Placement's perfect.
My God.
You could put this at the end of the album, but instead you put it here.
It's better.
It's like slightly risky, and it pays off really well.
It does. It does.
He got it right the first time.
Oh, nice. Okay, get it right the first time. All right. Great song.
Oh, wow.
Amazing song.
Yeah, get it right the first time is... this is like the most dancey song on the album. Yeah.
Most upbeat, probably.
So did you hear in the club on the beach?
And like playful melody.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're talking about the bass too. The bass drops.
Oh,
so
yeah.
low.
It drops so low, but even when it does that, it's not just like some like low end.
Yeah.
Like you're getting all of like the percussive sound of that like thump.
Yeah.
Like, you can like I see the string hitting the fretboard in my mind so clearly, and I feel like that's a really hard thing to capture, especially in an upbeat dancey song.
Yeah, it's like a Foley.
It's
Foley
so
of it, kind of,
it's like contrasting with the like the upbeatness a little bit, and it's so it is so well. Their interplay is so good.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Cool. And then the last song.
Everybody has a dream.
Yeah. Dude, this is a great album ender.
It's distinctly different from the song that it's playing on.
With the strings backing it at the end.
Yeah. It's its own thing.
I feel like it's pushing it farther into the Western.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, like I was saying while it was playing though, but the whistling is only in 3 rounds, not like a rounded out 4.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
so it's just odd. I like that a lot. It's a great album ender.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone loves the big giant chorus of people singing.
Yeah.
Right? Like with a little help from my friends, the Joe Cocker one. Everyone's just kind of singing in. It's a grand old time.
Yeah. It's like a grand finale.
Big grand finale.
Everybody has a dream. Everyone wants to sing about it.
I mean, this makes me think of like a church choir too.
Definitely.
Yeah. We did a Dr. Dog album yesterday, and the final track on that has what could be 2 tracks at the end, and this also could have split into an outro track.
Definitely.
But it continues back into the stranger whistle and piano part instead.
It's not split. It's nice.
This I don't question as much though. This kind of just flows into it.
But remember, we slowly devolved into like deciding that was like part of the argument.
Yeah. For that, it was an argument. For this one, it sort of just flows in, but because that has an argument, it like has a place there, and this kind of could be cut up into another track, but I don't mind it at all that it kind of just like goes into that.
I think it's great. I wouldn't change. There's nothing on this album I would like rearrange or change.
No,
right?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Isn't it incredible?
Yes. What the heck?
It's just 9 songs. Like it's just nine tracks. Like,
that's the other thing is
that's a fine 9, dude.
Well, so would you own this on vinyl,
dude? Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you do own this on vinyl. Yeah.
Wow.
I used to own this on vinyl, and I will again.
Well, we gotta go to the record store together.
Yeah.
This gets released September 29th, 1977. It peaks at number 2 on the Billboard 200.
Nice.
But it enters the Billboard 200 number 181.
Okay.
On the week of October 8th, 1977.
Yeah.
In the top 10 that week is I, Robot by the Alan Parsons Project.
I love Alan Parsons. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
I got their vinyl around here somewhere.
JT by James Taylor. We discussed that on a previous episode.
Yeah, we did.
Going for the One by Yes.
Yes, dude.
What a solid band.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, what a dynamic band.
Yeah.
We guaranteed we are going to cover them one day.
Next year.
Next year. Yeah.
Watch out. Buckle
yes.
up.
Yeah.
Anytime, Anywhere by Rita Coolidge is at number 7.
I actually don't know her.
I know her. I don't know that album necessarily. Foreigner by Foreigner is at number 6.
Oh gosh.
Moody Blue by Elvis Presley
is
at number 5. Presley's on the charts. The Star Wars soundtrack is at number 4.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Enormous.
I found a 45 at a record store, like a secondhand store, a long time ago, and it was like it was for kids, right?
Yeah.
But on each side, it was like a short narration of the movie, and there was like in the booklet little things to follow along to. It was really cool.
It's
cool.
It's buried in the collection somewhere at home.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
With mom and dad.
Yeah, when we tour out there, we'll dig it up.
Oh. Yeah.
Sean Cassidy by Sean Cassidy.
I don't know.
I bet you it's good. It's at number 3. Simple Dreams by Linda Ronstadt. Of course.
Nice.
Dude. So she's like charting at the time too, and he's getting advice from her.
Yeah.
And then number 1 on the chart for 33 weeks at this point is Rumors by Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
One of the biggest albums, Yeah. It's such a recognizable album cover.
I'll check that out.
Are these albums in conversation with each other at all?
Honestly, man, I mean,
with the 70s, like late 70s, Nixon era.
Yeah, is
it Nixon? No, it was Ford at this point.
77 is.
I think he left office in 75, right?
Yeah. 77 is Ford because what's his name? Jimmy Carter starts like in 78, I think. Yeah.
He had enough of the peanut farm.
Yeah.
I don't think they are. I think.
I don't think these albums are in conversation.
I mean, they're both New York artists that they do have that in common.
Yeah.
Very different time periods.
Yeah.
Very different genres, I think.
Both artists have struggled with drug abuse, so there's that.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thanks for being here.
Dude, oh my god, Ethan, this is amazing.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
this was awesome.
I didn't have to wake up so early. /
We could be here all night.
I know, we could be chilling, talking about more music.
Yeah, I know. But it's all good. Maybe I'll come back.
Yeah, we have another round coming next year.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to be here.
We're definitely getting more stuff.
This is great.
Next week is going to be Plectrist by Billy Bauer and Broken Social Scene by Broken Social Scene.
Hell yeah.
And congrats on the Pianos promotion. Go to Pianos on a Friday night.
Go come see me.
See you can mix some tracks.
Is there any plugs? Do you want to put on here?
Let me think. I mean, nothing I'm directly promoting at the moment, but
you have how do you find yourself on social? What's the handle?
Ethan Moon 212. Just follow me. I'm things pop up. I do have a lot of music I've been producing lately.
Picture?
It's me. It's 7 years old in Yankee Stadium in Monument Park.
Man, we got the most New York guy to.
Yeah, right.
I know it's so cool. Fan, lifelong Yankee fan. Ethan Moon 212 on the Instagram. Ethan Moon on Spotify. Verified.
Yes.
Whatever comes out on there, and that's where I usually promote a lot of my upcoming releases.
Cool. But the best thing to do is just to go see the bands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is nothing.
Like mixing in person, you know,
live. It might be a little hostile, but if you show some love, I'll say
that one.